Welcome to this week's 5022 lesson. As you know, this week we are meeting online because of my conference responsibilities. We are going to be continuing the discussion we had last week about differentiated instruction, managing and planning for responsive instruction. And this online session should take about our normal amount of class time to complete. Throughout the presentation, I'll be asking you to stop and jot down your ideas. So you can do this either digitally or with a paper and pencil, but either way, you'll need to upload your notes document to Blackboard when you finish this presentation. So go ahead, pause and get some kind of writing tool handy, and then we'll get started. As we've talked about in our previous lessons, we know that differentiation requires designing respectful tasks that are going to be at the appropriate level of challenge based on our students' readiness, interests, and learning profiles. Differentiation also requires leading to achieve a shared vision, helping students to find that passion for the learning and then move forward with achieving that vision. It also requires the management piece, which is orchestrating the details. And part of that management is planning so that you avoid hot spots in terms of management, or addressing those hot spots as they come up when you're implementing differentiated lessons. So at this point, you're getting more comfortable with teaching in your second placement, and it's time to move off of the defensive, which is teaching in ways that control the environment but might actually restrict student learning. Instead, you want to move on to the offensive, planning for appropriately challenging tasks with differentiation. Last week, we talked about some management hotspots when we looked at the scenario with Mrs. Crichton's ideas for a differentiated lesson. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the presentation and make a list of hotspots in your own teaching, any management hotspots that have come up in your teaching recently. And if nothing comes to mind, you might take a look at a recent formative observation or Glow and Grows or biweeklies from your mentor. So take a moment or two to jot down some management concerns. And once you've got that written down, go ahead and resume the presentation. Segment of class for today is viewing a classroom video, and this video is about 23 minutes. While you're watching, I'd like you to make a list of management solutions that you see in Mrs. Rex's classroom. And so you're going to see the classroom in action, and I'd like you to pay attention to both what she talks about when she kind of comes back and voices over, narrates what you've seen, and also other things that you might notice, even things that she doesn't talk about, that she does to create a classroom that runs smoothly. So when you're ready to watch that video, go to the announcement from Blackboard and click on that next link. It'll take you to the video of Mrs. Rex's classroom. After watching the video, then begin part 2 of today's presentation by clicking the link that is also in the announcement on Blackboard.